This week on the Spotlight, we analyze Robin Ventura and where he's at with his club, and will he be back? General Manager Rick Hahn kind of dropped a little tease by saying, we're evaluating everybody, including Robin and his staff. We flash back to the Deacon. That's what Hawk Harrelson named him. And then a little bit of football this week. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 27th year of the Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You got to get to Calabria Imports, Italian Foods Deli. Mention this TV ad for a free Joe Tea with a sandwich order. It's at 1905 West 103rd Street. They have great stuff. I'll shop there. I'll see you there. Calabria Imports. You've got to get to the Cove for Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, September 23rd at 8 p.m. Great people, great game. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Calabria Imports has Italian foods and a great deli. You mention this TV ad, and you get a free Joe Tea with a sandwich order. Conveniently located at 1905 West 103rd Street, Calabria Imports has great stuff. Check it out. I do all the time. Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting, most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. We're back on the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox baseball, of course, and Robin Ventura is facing some analysis at this point in the year in his 4th season in the major leagues. A lot of people thought this team should have done better. Some people think that he may have done more to get them better. More individual instruction, maybe a little bit more toughness, more demandingness, less tolerance of mistakes and mental miscues. These kind of things are brought up in the interview with Robin here, with just a couple of weeks left to go in the season.
You get Micah back up. What are you looking to see out of him from these next few weeks?
Well, tonight he's not in there, but he'll be in there. Pretty soon you'll integrate him in, and there's a couple different things you can do with him. You can have him at second. He can DH. Put a different element in there like that. So he will be playing, but we'll integrate him in.
Would you move him around, or that would not be a consideration?
I'm not going to move him around. If they would have done that, previously him being here, I probably would have done that. But they didn't do it when he was in AAA. So if they weren't going to do it down there, we're not going to do it up here. We got enough guys that can play where we don't need to move them around.
Rick was asked about the season. He was asked what will be analyzed. Will the coaching staff be analyzed? Everything's up for. Do you expect that when a season happens like this, that everybody's
analyzed? I mean, I think you expect that, and that's his job to do that. So I'm not surprised by that.
Is that what's that process like for you? I mean, obviously,
you just go through it. I mean, again, we're disappointed just as much as anybody else, and I think even for myself, I'm just as disappointed, in what you have here. But when you analyze it, you're going to go through everything. You go through coaches, you go through players, you go through the whole process like we've done in the past. And I would like it to be better as well.
When players don't necessarily live up to their accurate baseball cards, is it fair to lay it on general manager, coaches?
Well, I mean, again, you're getting to a point where you're not going to sit there and point a finger at a player for not playing well. That's just part of doing business. You want them to do better. We're trying to get them to play better, and you either are going to keep that player or you're not. That's what it comes down to.
If first place would be an A on a report card, how would you grade your managing this year?
That's for Rick to do. I'm not going to sit here and get into getting a letter or whatever. We're not in first place, so it's not where we want it to be, and you just go on for the rest of the season and try and win your games and see where you end up when that comes to an end, and then in the end it'll be assessed by somebody that works here.
Well, how do you feel your progress in year 4 is?
I mean, for what you're going through, I feel fine with that, of how you're dealing with things, dealing with the players, but it does come down to wins too.
Safe to say you want to be back there for next year to make it right.
Absolutely. I mean, people think that I don't care. That's a unfair assessment. I mean, nobody cares more about how it's going here than I do.
What do you like about this job?
It's hard. I think there is part of it that is very difficult to do. There's other parts of it that, this is what you've done as an adult. This is what you know, and, that part you enjoy coming to the ballpark and doing. But, for anybody to think it's just an easy job that anybody can do, it's not.
Has it kind of grown on you, Phil? I mean, over the years?
Yeah, I think it's different, when you first get here and you're trying to kind of assess everything that's going on. You're meeting new people. You're trying to figure out who's here as far as your team. This is different because you have a few of the same guys. You have different people, but every year is a little bit different.
Is it harder than playing?
No, don't ever think that. It's not as hard as playing. It's difficult, but the hardest part is on the field. Make no mistake. I don't want anybody to think that part's easy, because that's the hardest part. That's why there's very few of them.
Robin, you saw what you had in spring training. Are you surprised it kind of unfolded as it did then?
I think offensively we figured we'd be better than what it is, and we haven't had that great of an offense.
Can that just be a number of guys having a down year and nothing more?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, every year is different. I mean, otherwise, what the guy did his first year, it would be that way on the back of his card forever. So every year is different. Every player is different. And you can't guarantee that every year. You'd like to, but you can't.
You knew when you took the job that managers sometimes can take the fall for struggles.
Yeah, that's
has it gotten uglier than you ever imagined it might?
No. I mean, anytime you think it's bad, it can always be worse. So I'm not. I mean, that part of it, it's difficult, and you still come back here and trying to do the best you can.
In spring training, did you think you had a playoff talent roster?
Yeah, we did. You do, because you got some good pitching. I thought our bullpen was great, and I think offensively we've come up short in that area, and that's just a fair assessment.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Ferland, EDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work. Impeccable. Call the family dentist. 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you.
Nuevo Leon, for the best Mexican cuisine since 1962. Serving every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. Conveniently located 1515 West 18th Street, just a block east of Ashland in Chicago. Of course, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a wide range of menu items. Everything from steak, seafood, to breakfast, to chicken, pork, dine-in, carry-out, tacos, enchiladas, everything you can imagine, and great quality at Nuevo Leon, 1515 West 18th.
We're back on the spotlight, and in these final days of the season in September, people get reflective, and they get analytical, and they wonder why a team with 6 huge off-season acquisitions that looked very good on paper in March and a little bit in April didn't compete for this divisional title. And so Rick Hahn, the GM, comes out and faces us and answers questions, some of them pretty deep, about what's going to happen with next year's White Sox and what things are being analyzed in these final days.
That there is going to be the opportunity to get some information for next year. At the same time, you know, Robin's approach and goal is to win the night. So if sometimes he's going with a veteran guy or a guy we may already know a lot about, that's fine if he's doing it in order to win.
How do you look at the inconsistent consistency your team has had, where you've been
Consistently inconsistent?
1 and 9 games under 500 the entire year except 3 days? How do you look at that from a perspective of what your team's been?
I think a lot of this is probably best addressed once the entire season is in, once we're able to sit down and have the entire 6 months of performance behind us to sort of talk through larger themes or areas we need to improve and all that. Certainly you hit on an important one in terms of our lack of consistency, our inability to really get rolling, primarily from an offensive standpoint. The pitching's been fairly consistent. Obviously you're going to have a couple of hiccups along the way, but for the most part the pitching and the run prevention has been fairly consistent. And after the first few weeks or so of the season, once we were able to get the base running and the defense reined in a little bit, that's also been fairly consistent over the last few months. But for whatever reason, the offense just hasn't been there. And then the larger issues behind that, I think, are probably better assessed and better addressed once the season comes to a close.
Are you at all anxious to see Micah now as opposed to early in the season?
I don't know if it's really changed from a standpoint of here's a talented player who can help us potentially for many years if he's able to do the things that we need him to do at the big league level. It's good to have him back. It's good to have him, whether he's in the starting lineup and able to start from the show where he's at defensively on a nightly basis, or he's just a asset off the bench for Robin to help us in a close game late. You want to be in a position in September where you're playing meaningful ball games and at the same time having players get necessary experience in situations they could see himself in down the road. We do have the opportunity with a fair amount of new faces up here right now to learn about our young guys. But again, hopefully they'll also be put in a position to help us win a ball game, which would be beneficial to them.
You mentioned the base running, not necessarily the stolen bases part, but the base to base. You guys are near the top of the league in that. How do you view what you guys are doing there? And is being aggressive good? Like, how are you guys doing with being aggressive and kind of smart?
Yeah, it's a balance, and for much of the year we've been on the wrong side of that balance. You want them to have always be on the aggressive end of things in terms of looking to get that extra base. At the same time, you hope instinctually or from a repetition of instruction, they're at the point where they're smart about when to take that chance. You're never going to be flawless on the bases when you're erring on the side of being aggressive. At the same time, we obviously had to slow things down a little bit after the first 6-7 weeks of us running into too many outs. We're not to where we need to be overall. We haven't struck that ideal balance just yet. Again, though, that's more of a larger theme thing to address, I think, once the season's over in terms of how best to address that going forward.
Is that also player experience, though, too?
Yeah, no. When you have a young team, you're gonna have young team errors. You're gonna have rookie mistakes, so to speak. You're gonna have guys learning to figure out how their speed or how their skill translates at the big league level, and that takes a little bit of time. We had a few too many of those early on, and again, I think we've been better as of late, and I think you've seen some good first to third and second to home opportunities that we've taken advantage of. As for, going forward, how best to rectify it, we'll deal with more of that in the offseason.
How about your team as far as hitting with men on base and stranding runners? That seems to be maybe the key frustration point in not scoring enough runs.
I'd like more runners on base. Then you have more opportunities to do that, and it evens out in the wash, hopefully. I think every team in baseball, if you were to ask them about how they do with runners on third and less than 2 outs, would say we're below average, and obviously not everybody's below average. We haven't performed in the level where any of us feel satisfied or that there's not room for improvement. I know it's a emphasis in spring. It's an emphasis when Trick's working with these guys in the cages. Obviously, with Harold around, we got one of the guys who was best in the game at the time he played in those situations, and we try to extract his knowledge to help the guys and put them in his shoes in terms of how he approached things. It needs to get better. It needs to get better, but one way that gets better is with more guys on base.
How do you prevent yourself from overreacting to?
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and a fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You know you should get to the Dirty Sock on alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. when I do my trivia game. They have great food, great drink, great people at 93rd and Roberts Road. It's a fun place. I've been going there for years. So start coming out on Thursday nights at least. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. We'll have fun. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's.
Welcome to another edition of the Benkowski Sports Spotlight. I think you know where we're at. And no, it's not the drive-in theater. Of course, New Comiskey, where all kinds of explosions are happening. Not only the fireworks kind, but off the bats of the players. This is the Renaissance time, I guess you could say, for the Chicago White Sox. And we'll be covering them in depth. In fact, we should go to the locker room right now, take a little fireworks break, and talk to some of the key guys who are making it happen.
Well, like coming off this last road trip, we won 5 out of 5, but we still stayed like the same. Picked up 1 game in Minnesota. We just get somebody to help us out with Minnesota a little bit, and we can close the gap. It'd be a good feeling. But we got a good feeling now because we winning a lot of games, you know, scratching and come back in the last inning. But Minnesota ain't gonna be that hot that long. Somebody gonna cool them off. And as long as we keep winning, we'll be all right.
How about yourself? You come here, and I think I saw a graphic. It said you're the first player to make their major league debut in New Comiskey Park. I'd like to get a little feel from you about putting it in perspective now. You've had, some time under your belt here. What's it like, this major league scene?
Well, on this team, I know I'm a role player. I come in and pinch hit, come in late in for defense, play every now and then when a guy need a day off. But I just, go out and try to do my role, and work hard at what I do. I know I'm not a starter, so I just work hard at the little things, like make sure I'm loose, if I pinch hit, or, make sure I just do the job for the team when I get in.
Hawk Harrelson has made a big issue of your nickname, the Deacon, and has that been a long time thing? Did he stick you with that? Have you explain a little bit about it? Because I know you're a person of strong faith.
Well, it surprised me when I heard him calling me that. I was wondering myself where he get it from, but it's something different, It's good to get to the big leagues and get labeled as a nickname, but, I don't know where it comes from.
Well, from what I hear, he knows you're a person of strong Christian faith, and I think he said you got that kind of stocky build like a Southern deacon that he maybe knew when he was down in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, I believe it might be the way I cut my hair, keep it low and stuff. But I'm a pretty good Christian. I do a lot of good things. I'm a nice person, quiet person. But on the field, I just do my job and just work hard.
Hit the ball hard.
Hit the ball hard.
Keep doing it.
All right.
Thank you. Some of your younger pitchers have said the first time they pitched with Fisk, they were kind of nervous because he's played so long. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, home runs. A 20-year player. Did you feel that way at all the first time you were throwing?
Well, my first time when I pitched in Oakland here, I feel good, because Carlton Fisk is behind the home plate, and I know he good catcher and he got good command, and I try to follow him too. And I don't pitch too bad again, the score. I don't have the decision. The score is 4-4. Try the pitch the best. Yeah.
Last question. Now that the hitting is coming around and people are whacking the ball, Ventura's hitting home runs, Frank Thomas is hitting so well, everybody's hitting so well, the pitchers must be a little happier now, huh?
Oh yeah. I feel good when Frank or Ventura hit home run, put the score, on my favor, and I pitch, when you got run like that, you pitch, more easy, more. Throw more strike, pitch, the game time, It's more hard for me, like, it's my first year, I don't got, too much veteran. I try to do the best I can do, like a veteran.
I eat on the pasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people. Have a tremendous time at Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine. You'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's.
Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at Watt 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink, at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. You better get to Jackie's Hot Dogs, open past midnight 7 days. 2 Polish and fry, $5.69. Gyros plate with big fries, $8.59. Big Baby double cheese, $2.85. Tamales, Italian beef, pizza puff, shakes, chicken breast, onion rings, and more at 5415 South Pulaski. They have it all going on at Jackie's Hot Dogs. I highly recommend it. I eat there periodically. I love it. You should try it too. So how would Rex Grossman do against his old college coach? Well, you need a running game. How about a little bit of throwing to the running back? We haven't seen much of that this year. Maybe you could get a touchdown when you do that. Kicking, a very important part of the game, especially when you're downing the ball near the opposition goal line. String out somebody else's play and wreck it, like that.
It was 10-10. Matt Hasselbeck was mad because he got jobbed of a touchdown catch. So he goes, here, Lavernius Coles, you take it. They respect you. And it was 17-10 Skins. But the Bears came back strong in the third quarter with 2 long touchdown drives, culminating that way. Justin Gage, an important rookie, right on the spot. And watch this kick with 10 seconds left. We were there.
So Paul Ettinger finally figures it out. He kept pushing it right. He brought it over the bar by that much. And the Bears and Rex Grossman provide a Christmas present for the Chicago fans.
Has any idea how good a kick that really was. It was hard to kick the ball today. Every time it went in the air, you had no idea what the wind was going to do. I was hoping that the wind quieted down. I was hoping we got a break, but it actually seemed like it picked up to me right as he kicked that ball, and it was an amazing kick. Train was outstanding, no doubt about it, and Rex was really outstanding at the right times. It was a great win for our team, and to go, finish 6-2 here at the new Soldier Field. The facility's outstanding. The fans have been great when we've given them something to cheer about, and it was a good feeling, a good win for our football team.
Did you give any consideration to going for 10 seconds left or getting one more play in?
We did. If we had another timeout, we would have. We've got a number of things that we practiced that we could do there, and none of them we felt like gave us enough comfort that we'd get a kickoff. So we said we'll kick it. That was about the limit of his range. In pregame he said 30 both ends, and that's the outside limit. And that was about it. And I think that thing just squeaked over.
Was the wind swirling, or could you not tell where?
I think both teams felt like the wind was helping you, however much it was helping you going towards our tunnel, where we come out. That's what we felt, but you still didn't know what the ball was going to do once it got in the air. I think that they played it to go right to left on one of his kicks that he missed, and it never came back in.
Coach, how good was Rex Grossman today?
Rex, I thought, had an outstanding game. Once again, he handled the huddle, handled the changes that we need to have made at the line of scrimmage. He and Olin handled the protections. They did an outstanding job. The young man is really a good football player, and he's just going to get better. He's going to get better.
Halftime discussion like the third quarter you came out with 2 great drives.
We knew that we didn't get the ball in Train's hands enough in the first half. I think he only had 8 carries in the first half. And in order to win the game, we felt like we had to run, and we didn't feel like we had been stopped in the run.
The Lansing Floral Shop.
Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero.
Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound, saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.